We live in a world that is just constantly screaming at us to hustle harder, push faster, and fight for every single thing we want. But what if that's all wrong? Today, we're going to dig into an ancient philosophy that just completely flips that whole idea on its head. It reveals a secret to getting what you want, not through brute force, but through flow. I mean, this is the message we get everywhere, right? That success is some kind of battle, and the only people who win are the ones who completely burn themselves out trying. It's this culture of constant striving, of frantic, desperate action, and it usually just leaves us feeling totally exhausted, and honestly, even further from our goals than when we started. But here's the wild part. Thousands of years ago, guys like Marcus Aurelius and Seneca, and these weren't just thinkers, they were emperors, warriors, and statesmen. They stumbled upon this profound secret. They figured out that the key to getting what you want isn't about fighting against the current of life. Nope. It's about learning how to flow with it. It's a little counterintuitive, but it is incredibly powerful. So, let's start by breaking down this modern trap we're all in. Why is it that the more desperately we fight for something, the more it seems to just slip right through our fingers? Well, the answer is in the energy of the fight itself. Let's really focus on this idea of resistance. When you are constantly stressed out, gripping an outcome so tightly your knuckles are turning white, you're basically shouting an energy of desperation out into the world. The Stoics knew that this anxiety acts like a force field, blocking the flow of good things and literally pushing away the very opportunities you're hoping for. So, if hustle and force are the problem, what's the solution? Well, the Stoics gave us this beautiful and really powerful metaphor: become like water. Don't be the rock that stands there resisting everything. Be the current that just flows. This is the art of getting what you want with this kind of effortless, aligned action, instead of just exhausting struggle. And it all starts right here. Think about this. One of the most powerful men in history, writing this in his private journal. He wasn't saying to just sit back and do nothing. He understood that all of our power, our ability to see opportunities and make the right choices, it only exists in one place, right now, in the present moment. The second we stop worrying about the future, we can fully access all of our power. And this is that water metaphor in action. Just think about it for a second. Water doesn't fight the rocks in its path. It flows around them, it flows over them, it even flows through them. And over time, that gentle, persistent flow can shape the entire landscape. That's the power of relaxed intention. You hold your desire, but you trust the natural flow of life to bring it to you. So how do we actually do this in our own lives? Well, our roadmap for this explainer is a pretty simple three-part process. First, we're going to shift our mindset. Then, we'll learn how to master our energy. And finally, we'll embrace the wisdom of just trusting the process. Okay, part one, the internal game. Before we change a single thing we do, we have to change our relationship with our own desires. And this is where the Stoics drop a bombshell idea on us: detached desire. Let's just compare these two energies side by side. On one hand, you have desperation. This comes from a feeling of needing something, to feel okay, to feel whole, and that energy repels. But on the other side, you have detached desire. This comes from wanting something, sure, but while you already feel complete and confident. And that creates a calm, powerful magnetism that just naturally attracts things to you. Now, the official Stoic term for this is preferred indifference. And trust me, it is a total game changer. It does not mean you don't care about things. It means you can say, yeah, I'd prefer to be successful. I prefer to find love. But my inner peace is not going to be held hostage by whether or not I get those things. This puts you right back in the driver's seat of your own happiness. Here's another huge mindset shift. It's how we look at challenges. See, most of us, we see an obstacle and we think, oh great, the universe is against me. The Stoics saw it completely differently. To them, an obstacle isn't a punishment. It's an invitation from life, basically saying, hey, here's a chance to get stronger, to get wiser, to become ready for the very thing you're asking for. This might be one of the most famous Stoic quotes ever, and it just captures that idea perfectly. He's saying, the obstacle isn't blocking your path. The obstacle is your path. Dealing with it, overcoming it, that is precisely the thing that moves you forward. It makes you who you need to be. Okay, so with that new mindset in place, how do we actually apply it? This brings us to our second point, mastering our energy. And for the Stoics, all of your power is located in one single place, the present moment. Seneca's point here is just so crucial. Happiness isn't some destination we get to later on. It's a state of being we cultivate right now. And this isn't just a nice thought, it is a practical strategy. When you let go of that anxious need for the future to be a certain way, you unlock this powerful creative energy right here in the present. So, why is being present so magnetic? Well, think about it. A mind that's scattered between past regrets and future worries, it's going to miss the opportunities that are right in front of its nose. But when you are fully here, you start to notice the subtle clues, the little intuitive nudges, the doors that are creaking open. You just radiate this calm, confident energy that is incredibly attractive, both to people and to good situations. And here is a beautifully simple way you can practice this. Anytime you feel your mind starting to spin out of control, just pause. Come back to your breath. Actually feel your feet on the ground. And then just notice 3 things you can see or hear or feel. This simple little act pulls your energy out of anxiety and brings it right back into the present moment, which is where all your power is. And this brings us to our final piece, the one that really ties everything together. You've shifted your mindset, you're mastering your energy. Now it's time to learn the art of letting go and truly, deeply trusting the process. The Stoics had this really powerful name for this ultimate state of trust, amor fati. It literally translates to a love of one's fate. It's this deep, unwavering belief that everything, and I mean everything, is unfolding for your highest good. Now, let's be clear. This is not about just passively resigning yourself to whatever happens. It's an active faith in the intelligence of the universe. It's the ability to look at any situation, even a really tough one, and trust that it's serving some larger purpose in your journey, even if you can't see what that is yet. And the benefits of this kind of trust are just immense. You start to see that maybe a delay isn't a denial. Maybe it's actually protecting you or preparing you. When you surrender that need to control the when and the how, you free up so much energy. You stop feeling so anxious about the future, and you can actually start noticing all the beauty and the magic that's happening right now. So, this is the whole thing right here. The journey we've just talked about is this great shift. A shift from a life of fighting and chasing to a life of flowing and attracting. It's moving from resistance to acceptance, from force to a kind of effortless alignment with life. And this really brings us to the ultimate takeaway. This whole process, it isn't really about trying to manipulate the outside world to get stuff. It's about doing the internal work to become the person who is ready, who is worthy, and who is energetically aligned to receive what is truly meant for you. So I'll just leave you with this final thought to really chew on. What if you stopped exhausting yourself by chasing after every goal? What if, instead, you focused all of that energy on simply becoming the person who can gracefully and joyfully receive all the good that is already trying to flow its way to you?